Hi, my name is Bastian, and this is Solar Speed Garage. Welcome to my project, TuBBy. It's a Tesla beach buggy. It's a '69 Volkswagen Pan, welded to a Model S SDU, small drive unit and subframe, and a bunch of custom fabrication in the front to adapt Tesla Model S spindles, control arms, and other suspension parts to make the track as wide as a Tesla Model S. Behind me, you'll see the buggy body, which is a full-length buggy body that's going to go on there, and later I'll show that video. But for now, I'm going to walk through the parts going from back to front to answer some questions and maybe get through why I'm doing this, which is probably unanswered after this. All right, I'm going to attempt to do this with the neighbor saw cutting for construction. Quickly going through my garage, I wanted to kind of show the major parts of the project because it's not something that I've seen done before. A lot of people have questions about why I would do it this way. So I think I could just clarify a few things. I'm in California. Pre-75 vehicles don't require smog checks, and they're much easier to get registered and insured in the state. So I decided to go with a pre-75 Volkswagen. Another part is because of the buggy body. I really wanted the feel of a 60s or 70s Manx buggy, and being here by the beach, it's really easy to take advantage of an open top and fiberglass body, but I wanted it to be full length. I wanted to be able to fit 5 people in it, so my whole family can go with me. And so I decided to go with a full length 69 Volkswagen Pan that I found on Craigslist. And then ultimately I cut up and cut off a bunch of the parts that I didn't need to retrofit the Tesla Model S drive unit and subframe that I purchased on eBay. Disc brake to disc brake setup, subframe and everything with suspension, including the SDU. It had the inverter and had the aluminum subframe as well that I could, basically weld brackets or framework onto the bug that I could then attach the subframe to. So that's what I'll show now. So if you see here, this is the Volkswagen Pan. For those that know cars, you will recognize this. It's basically the genesis of thousands and thousands of vehicles, especially customs. It's one of those things where there's a lot of parts for them. There's a lot of things that you can purchase for them and adapt, including the front beams you can replace, the pans you can replace, and a lot of the parts you can replace pretty easily, and they're very common. What I did that's unique is cut off from here over, cut off all the suspension and the mounts from the original bug. I also cut off the engine mounts. So these parts here would normally extend out and hold the Volkswagen engine, which is notoriously the 4 bolts, and basically made room for this Model S subframe here. So you see all the aluminum parts that are here are Model S, from 2016 Model S that was junked. I built, in order to get it in there, I fabricated this section here, the frame parts that you see in the rectangular tubing and these shock mounts, and all these sections here I fabricated, created channels so that they could weld on to the Volkswagen crossbeam that's used for the back suspension. It's made mounts so that the mount points were built off of the track, and the width of the Model S is retained. I have some wide, beefy dune buggy style tires that I really wanted to go for that look. The SDU is there, small drive unit is there, the inverter is there, and it's been flashed with an open inverter system so that I can plug into it basically and control it with an app. So all that's there. So you'll see the suspension, everything is all original Model S. Disc brakes and everything. So now that I had the width in the track in the back end, that's wide as a modern car, which is about 8 or 9 inches wider than a Volkswagen Bug. I didn't want the front end to be too narrow or look too narrow. So I decided to adapt Model S control arms, spindles, and all the suspension that you wouldn't see on a normal Tesla to a Volkswagen chassis, which I have not seen done before. I'm pretty sure most people wouldn't do it this way, but because I wanted the width and track and I wanted disc brakes, that could hold up to the power of a Tesla drive unit. I decided I'm going to adapt the entire front end. I bought all the parts, fabricated from the original front beam, parts that would allow me to adapt it. What you'll see are control arms here and here that are from a Tesla, obviously. Here is the spindles that came off of the regular model and the upper control arms. Those are all factory parts that I can get and replace and just buy online if I need to. So here's another angle of the vehicle. I'll cut in some video of the frame underneath. So for any of those that are worried about twisting, I think I have that pretty well handled with a frame that goes from front to back, tied into the actual chassis itself, so there shouldn't be any twisting. The battery will go right down the middle here. This section here in between the frame rails and above the drive unit will have a battery that comes up to a couple feet and likely comes up here up until the back of the unit. All of the seats in this are going to be shifted forward from a normal position. The wheels ended up being 6 or 8 inches more forward than they would have been in a traditional Bug. So the front is also further forward. So I cut out what's called the Napoleon's hat to move everything up, and mounted all the gas pedal, brake pedal from a McLaren, and the steering there in a very shallow drive, but I will have the yoke steering wheel, aluminum seats. I'm going to adapt the windshield and do the interiors. Next steps for me now are putting the body back on, rigidly tying that to the chassis so that it doesn't go anywhere, obviously. And then speccing out the battery box and building it with some friends of mine. Full Model 3 battery sitting here waiting. What I plan to do with the Model 3 battery is take the modules out of it, restack them, and configure them in a new battery box that will go here. And all should be good. We should be able to go fast from there. Drive unit still has all the factory cooling in it, the channels, so once I build the cooling and the conditioning for the battery, I'll also build cooling for the motor as well. Well, thanks for walking through it with me. Hopefully it was interesting, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Talk to you soon.